For man has become God, Lucifer has risen, the gates have been opened, the heavens have been conquered, and the Ancient Ones rule once more. These are the words which established the Eon of Lucifer. The word of the Eon is Deus. The law of the Eon is Thelema, Zephyr, Deus, or will to come into being as a god. This law refers to the evolution of man into a being equal to a god through the application of the magical will to the expansion of the psyche or the conscious exaltation to achieve divinity. The word Deus rests upon the words chaos and unity, diametrically opposed forces which coexist in the Ionic sphere, and builds upon the words Thelema and Zephyr which established the previous eons of Horus and Set. The embassy of Lucifer is, therefore, the vehicle for the advancement of Deus as the word of the Eon of Lucifer. Central to Deic philosophy is the belief that every individual has the potential to achieve divinity through the exaltation of his will to the expansion of consciousness, and that every man and every woman is a star. To become a god, one must accept his place as a god upon the earth and assume the responsibility which comes with being a god. With power comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes purpose. It is in the realization of one's responsibility to the spiritual and psychological evolution of humanity that individual purpose and direction may be understood and appreciated. When I state that we must act as gods, I do not imply that we must be all good or all loving, but rather that, like the gods of the ancient world, we must be unique, powerful, individual beings, manifesting force of will and personality. Soon the world will be filled with beings the likes of Zeus, Aphrodite, Neptune, and Apollo. The role of the embassy of Lucifer is to bring together these unique beings with the power to define their own reality. In this, there is no dogma or doctrine, no prescribed formula, and no laws. Each member of the embassy is a god capable of bending reality to his will. Deic philosophy does not represent dogma, as there is no one established path which an individual must follow in order to attain Deus, or one prescribed belief system which members of the embassy of Lucifer must blindly follow. As gods, we define our own reality and live with the consequences of our actions and of the forces which we set in motion by our movements. As the planets move around the sun without questioning the reason for the courses which they follow, we who have attained godhood possess the knowledge and conversation of our holy guardian angels/demons, or higher magical selves, and thus act by our true will. The activities of the embassy of Lucifer are both political and magical, but we are not the first organization to combine magic and politics. The same was true of the Freemasons, Rosicrucians, Golden Dawn, and O.T.O. It is commonly known that the United States was established by Freemasons on the principles of Masonry, which had been condemned by the Pope as satanic. Occult and magical orders have influenced politics throughout history. The Embassy of Lucifer shares more commonality with traditional magical organizations than does the Consortus. Vedic philosophy does, however, incorporate the philosophy of LaVey and Aquino. The word Deus shares much in common with the Scythian word Zem, which means I am or I have become. And like many organizations, membership in the Embassy of Lucifer is by appointment only. It is not an organization you can join simply by sending money and filling out a questionnaire. Only those who are chosen by the Dark Lord are appointed to positions within the embassy. The Embassy of Lucifer does, however, recognize ordination by certain organizations such as the Church of Satan or Temple of Set. The reason for this is that we have no reason, at this time, to question the screening processes of either of these organizations. Both organizations, despite obvious theological and dogmatic differences, have well-established screening policies for new members. Members of the third degree, in good standing with the Temple of Set, may bypass many of embassy screening procedures. The same is true of ordained clergy of the Church of Satan and higher-ranking members of the FCOS and FSC. My approach to membership has changed a great deal in the last 4 years. Membership will no longer be granted, except to those individuals who demonstrate great experience and talent and who, by their actions, reveal themselves to already be ambassadors of the Dark Lord. Many of those who joined the embassy 3 years ago did not possess the requisite knowledge to act as agents of the Dark Lord. The Embassy of Lucifer is an organization for leaders rather than for followers. It is essentially a franchise, or a name, which leaders in the satanic community see. The Devil's Ambassadors. The first embassy to the Dark Lord was the creation of Yejnomalus, prophet of the Second Coming. Nomalus, an ordained priest of the Church of Satan, established the embassy located in Whitehall, Pennsylvania, known as the Embassy of S.A.T.A.N. S.A.T.A.N stands for Survival and the Androgyne Nation. The social realist philosophy espoused by Nomalus was one of predator and prey, emphasizing survival of the fittest. Satan, remarked Nomalus, was an androgynous being. In the future, he believed, mankind would evolve into an androgynous race. A new embassy ellipsis points a new